What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So it looks like Bob Arum is setting his sights on making a potential matchup in Puerto Rico later this year, third quarter in September. They're thinking about having a HBO event in Puerto Rico with Puerto Rican star Juan Lopez and Rocky Martinez. And as far as Juan Lopez, that would be facing Nonito Donaire at 126. Donaire has been on record saying that he plans to move to 126 after getting past, if he can get past, he had him on Rigondeaux this Saturday, and if he gets past him, he was planning on moving up, and I think that's huge. I mean, Puerto Rico, they definitely support their athletes. That would just be a big fight, and I would commend Nonito Donaire. So first of all, if Nonito gets past Guillermo Rigondeaux, which is a tough task, definitely a 50-50 fight, you got to give him props. And if he does get past him, and the next fight he takes is Juan Lopez at a catchweight, because Juan Lopez normally fights a little bit higher of a weight class. But if he fights Juan Lopez at 126, that's still definitely a credible opponent. And Juan Lopez is fighting in Mexico coming up not too long, or not too far from now, at 128. So this is definitely manageable. Juan Lopez, his trainer says he has no problem making 126. He just has to monitor his weight and stay in control with his diet or whatever. But like I said, if Donaire gets past Rigondeaux, that's a huge statement. And then his first fight at a new weight division, 126, is Juan Lopez. You got to give him credit. Same thing with Abner Mars. Abner Mars vacated his belt at 122, moved up to 126, and he's taking on Daniel Ponce de Leon on the Mayweather Guerrero undercard. I mean, these guys want to fight. If these fights are made, I mean, these guys don't care. They want to fight. So it's about time you start giving these warriors and these fighters credit. Fuck all the he's ducking and this and all that. I mean, these guys want to fight. So I think that's a hell of a match. They're also having on the undercard, they're talking about having Robert Garcia's brother, Mikey Garcia, versus Rocky Martinez, as I mentioned. And as far as this fight, I would definitely watch it. I want to see how Garcia looks against someone who's awkward. But I don't see Rocky Martinez really beating Mikey Garcia. I see him possibly getting stopped. It looks like he has a chin based on his last fights, but his fight with Burgos and his very last fight on the just last weekend, I think he didn't win either one of those fights. I think he got like a gift decision, if you will. I didn't see all of the rounds from last week, but from what I've seen, he didn't look that impressive. So my money would definitely be on Mikey Garcia. I like him a lot. I think he's technically sound. As I said in previous videos, my only real critique with Mikey Garcia, he's still fairly young. He's mid-20s. I mean, that is young. But my only real critique with Mikey Garcia is this. Sometimes I feel he plays it a little too safe. He like noticeably had Orlando Salido hurt, and that is a dangerous opponent. I'm not saying do a Pacquiao and just go in reckless because you think you have the guy hurt and get knocked out. I'm not talking about that. But as a fighter, you have to be able to gauge when you got your man hurt. And to me, he should have pressed the attack with Orlando Salido a little bit more when he definitely had the upper hand, because a person like Orlando Salido, somebody with power, someone who's persistent, hard-headed, you want to get him out. If you have any opportunity to get him out, you need to try to take him out, because you never know what happens as the rounds keep going. Like what happened, he ended up getting his nose broke by an accidental headbutt. Or if you leave a guy to hang around, you never know, especially a guy with power. They might get desperate because they know they need a knockout to win the fight, and get desperate and swing for the fences and possibly drop you or knock you out. So that's my biggest critique for Mikey Garcia. It's definitely something that he can improve on. He's still young enough where I feel he can improve on that. And he still seems to be stopping opponents. Obviously, his biggest test was Orlando Salido. But when he gets to more elite level fighters, you got to take him out. If you have the opportunity or opening to take him out, you can't hesitate and you have to really do it. But you have to be cautious, like I said. So it's a gray area. Like I said, I'm not saying do a Pacquiao where he's going to be reckless in there and then get in turn knocked out himself. But use calculated risks. That's basically it. And we just need to see Mikey Garcia more of his inside game. I thought he showed improvements, but I haven't seen a ton of inside game. But I think it's something that he probably does have in his arsenal. We just haven't seen so much of it as of right now. So only time will reveal. I definitely would like to see all of the fights that are being proposed. Mikey Garcia, if he did get past Rocky Martinez, which I would put my money on Mikey Garcia, I would definitely love to see him fight Yuriorkis Gamboa or Gary Russell Jr. And hopefully they have Gary Russell Jr. groomed with a few more fights, and they have him ready to the point where they can make that Mikey Garcia Gary Russell Jr. match. So that's just my fantasy fights, if you will. But this sounds like a solid card if they are able to put it together. If each opponent can get past the people they have in line. Nonito, again, has to get past Guillermo Rigondeaux. And Mikey Garcia is most likely facing Orlando Cruz, so he'd have to get past him. And hopefully they make these fights. So let me know what you guys think of these potential matchups. I like them. I think Puerto Rico is a good look, having it there. And I've noticed they're doing a lot of fights out of the states. I don't know if it's the tax reason or whatever, but I've just noticed a lot, like Monaco and China, and they're trying to have a whole bunch of fights in Puerto Rico and just other places. So let me know what you guys think. Who would you like in these fights? As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Until next video, it's Ego, signing off.